Hello children, welcome back to our maths class. We shall continue with chapter 5 quadrilaterals. Now let's see midpoint theorem in your textbook page number 71. Okay, so open your textbook to page 71. Let's study the theorem. Okay. Now the theorem states that the segment joining the midpoints of any two sides of a triangle. Okay, so now this is a triangle ABC and there is a segment joining the midpoints of any two sides. So this is a segment PQ which is drawn joining the midpoints of segment AB and segment QAC at point P and Q. Okay, so that means this line PQ is parallel to the third side. That means PQ is parallel to BC. I have to prove that. Okay, so that is the statement. So what is given in triangle ABC? P and Q are the midpoints of segment AB and segment AC. I have to prove that PQ is parallel to BC. Okay, and half of it. Half of it means PQ is half of BC. Now let's proceed further. So now we'll do a construction part over here. Let's do a construction part. Now we can see we have extended PQ up to point R such that PQ and QR are equal. Okay, so I have extended this line over here and I have joined RC. Okay, so now I get triangle APQ and triangle CQR. These two triangles are formed by construction. Okay, so in triangle APQ and in triangle CQR, PQ is congruent to QR. So PQ congruent to QR by construction. Then AQ is congruent to AC. That is given to us because Q is a midpoint. Since Q is a midpoint, AQ and QC are equal. And one is angle AQP, another is angle RQC, vertically opposite angles. So the two triangles are congruent by side angle side test. Okay, so next angle PAQ and angle QCR, they form corresponding angles of congruent triangles. Okay, so I get PAQ and QCR, that is corresponding angle of congruent triangles. Okay, another is the corresponding side, that means AP is congruent to RC, that is the corresponding sides of congruent triangle. So now line AB, okay, this line AB is parallel to line RC. Why? Because angle PAQ and angle QCR, they form alternate angles and they equal, right? They are also alternate angles. So by alternate angle test, I can say that AB is parallel to CR. Okay, and from 2 I can say that now since AP is congruent to CR, I can say that AB is congruent to CR. That is by equation 2. So now we got AP congruent to CR is already there, but AP and PB are also equal because those are formed by the midpoint P, right? So now I can say that AP is congruent to PB. Okay, AP is congruent to PB, but AP is also congruent to CR, right? But AP is also congruent to CR. So AP is congruent to PB is congruent to CR. Okay, and PB is parallel to CR. That is already we got it. Okay, PB is congruent to CR. That means quadrilateral PBCR is a parallelogram. Why parallelogram? Because I got the two sides are parallel. Okay, so this is a parallelogram. So that means sec PQ is parallel to sec BC. Okay, we got sec PQ is parallel to sec BC. and sec PR is equal to BC, because those are opposite sides of the parallelogram and opposite sides of the parallelogram are congruent. Okay, so PR is equals to BC, that is opposite sides of the parallelogram are congruent. But PQ, okay, but PQ is half of PR. PQ is half of PR, right? This PQ is half of PR. So you can see over here, PQ is half of PR. Okay, that means PQ is half of BC. Why BC? Because PR is equals to BC. So that is been proved. Okay. Next is the converse of midpoint theorem. Okay. Now converse of midpoint theorem is same like that only. Okay. Here we have to prove the sides are congruent. So this is a homework for you. The converse of midpoint theorem is a homework. You all have to solve on your own. Okay. Next. Now let's see practice set 5.5. Practice set 5.5. First question. Let's see. First question. Open your textbook to page 73. You can see the figure is already given to us. In triangle ABC, point X, Y and Z are midpoints of side AB, BC and AC. Then AB is given as 5 cm, AC is given to us as 9 cm and BC is given to us as 11 cm. Okay, we have to find the value of X, Y, YZ and XZ. Right? So now, first in triangle ABC, point X, point Y and point Z are midpoints of side AB, BC and AC. Right? Now, first I take only two midpoints. Okay, you can take any two midpoints. So, first I take point X and point Y as the midpoint of side AB and side BC respectively. So, that means I take XY, okay, from point X and from point Y. Okay, so X, I have taken X and Y. So, that means XY is half of AC, which is the side opposite to XY, AC. That is a parallel side, right? We are seeing the parallel side. So, opposite of XY is AC. That means XY is half of AC by midpoint theorem. So, that is XY is half of AC is 9. So, XY is 4.5 centimeter. Next, second, I take Y and Z as a midpoint. So, now if Y and Z is a midpoint, side opposite to YZ is AB. So, YZ is half of AB, that is by midpoint theorem. So, half of AB. AB is how much? 5. So, half of 5 is 2.5. So, YZ is 2.5. And the last, I take X and Z are the midpoints of side AB and AC. So, XZ is half of BC. So, XZ is half of BC. So, half of 11 is 5.5. So, XZ is 5.5. So, you got XY, YZ and XZ. Okay. Next, second question. The figure is provided to us. In the second question, the figure is given. Quadrilateral PQRS. Okay. Quadrilateral PQRNS. And quadrilateral MNRL are rectangles. Okay, there are two rectangles. If M is the midpoint of side PR, now point M is the midpoint of side PR, then prove that SL is equals to LR, okay, and LN is half of SQ. That I have to prove. So, first I take the first triangle or rectangle LMNR. Now L, M, N, R is a rectangle. Okay. Now rectangle means opposite sides of the rectangle are parallel. That means LM is parallel to RN. Now if LM is parallel to RN, that means LM is also parallel to RQ, because RN lies inside RQ. That is equation 1, and I have written the reason opposite sides of the rectangle are parallel. Right? Next. So I got LM is parallel to RQ. Now, but in the rectangle SPQR, okay, in this rectangle or in the rectangle PQRS, QR is parallel to SP. Okay, QR is parallel to SP. That is opposite sides of the rectangle are parallel. That is equation 2. So now from 1 and 2, I compare equation 1 and I compare equation 2. So from 1 and 2, I can say that now equation 1 is LM is parallel to RQ, but RQ is parallel to SP. So I can say that LM is parallel to SP. So from 1 and 2, I can get that sec LM is parallel to segment SP. That is equation 3. Okay. So I got LM parallel to SP. Next, in triangle R, S and P, in this triangle RSP, in triangle RSP, M is the midpoint of segment PR. Okay. So M is a midpoint of segment PR. Okay, so in triangle PRS, M is a midpoint of segment PR. Okay, so but LM, okay, LM is parallel to SP. That is, we got it from 3. Okay, so LM is parallel to SP from 3. That means L is the midpoint of side SR. So I can say that M is a midpoint of side SR. Okay, so if M is a midpoint of side SR, I can say that SL is equals to LR. That is the converse of midpoint theorem. Next, second part, we have to prove ln is half of SQ. Okay, ln is half of SQ, that we have to prove. So now diagonals, now we know diagonals of the rectangle are congruent. So SQ and PR are diagonals of the rectangle. So SQ and PR are congruent. Okay, so they are equal. So SP is equals to PR. That is equation 5. So if SP is equals to PR, I can say that ln and MR are also the diagonals of smaller rectangle. So ln is equals to MR. That is equation 6. But MN is half of PR. Okay, MN is half of PR. MR. MR is half of PR. So I can say that MR is half of PR. So that means ln is half of PR. So ln is half of PQ. Okay, I have written from 6 and 7, from 5 and 6. Okay, because MR is equals to ln. Okay, so MR is equals to ln. So in place of MR, I can write ln, and PR is equals to SQ. So in place of PR, I can write SQ. So ln is half of SQ. Question 3. ABC is an equilateral triangle. Okay, equilateral triangle means all sides are equal. Point FDE. So this is F, point F, point D and point E are the midpoints of side AB, BC and AC respectively. So F is the midpoint of AB, D is the midpoint of BC and E is the midpoint of AC. Show that triangle FED is an equilateral triangle. So I have to show this smaller triangle is an equilateral triangle. So in triangle ABC, point F and E are the midpoints of AB and AC. That is given. So that means FE is half of BC. That is by midpoint theorem. Next, in triangle ABC, D and E are the midpoints of side BC and AC. So that means DE is half of AB, midpoint theorem, equation 2. And the last one, in triangle ABC, D and F are the midpoints of side BC and side AB. So that means FD or DF is half of AC. Okay, DF is half of AC. That is by midpoint theorem. Now they have already given to us that ABC is an equilateral triangle. So if ABC is an equilateral triangle, that means all the three sides are equal. So AB, BC and AC are equal. Okay. So sides of an equilateral triangle. Now I have to show that this smaller triangle is an equilateral triangle. So for that reason, I multiply each term by half. So half BC, half AC and half AB. So now what is half of BC? Half of BC. Okay. Half of BC is FE, right? FE is half of BC. So half of BC is FE. Next, half of AC. So half of AC, which is half of AC? D. Half of AC is DF. And half of AB. Half of AB means half of AB is DE. So we can say all the three sides are equal. From 1, 2 and 3 I can say this. Okay. So that means triangle DEF is an equilateral triangle. Okay. Next, the fourth sum. You can see the figure is given to us. Sec PD is a median of triangle PQR. Okay. PD is a median of triangle PQR. Then point T is a midpoint of segment PD. Produce QT. Okay. Produce QT intersects PR at point M. Show that PM upon PR is 1 upon 3. Okay, we have to show that. So now let's begin. So first we'll draw construction. Draw DN parallel to sec QM. Okay, DN is parallel to QM such that M dash N dash R. Now in triangle PDN, in this triangle PDN, T is the midpoint of sec PD, right? T is the midpoint of sec PD. Then I can say that line TM is parallel to line DN. That is by construction TM parallel to DN. Construction. So by converse of midpoint theorem, I can say that M is a midpoint of PN. Okay. So if M is a midpoint of PN, I can say that PM is equals to MN. Equation 1. Next. Now in triangle QRM, in triangle QRM, D is the midpoint, okay, point D is midpoint of segment QR, that is given to us. Now if D is the midpoint of QR, I can say that DN is parallel to QM, okay, DN is parallel to QM. So again by converse of midpoint theorem, N is the midpoint of MR. Okay. Now, N is the midpoint of MR. That means MN and NR are equal. Okay. That is equation 2. Now, equation 1 and equation 2. We compare equation 1 and equation 2. Now, equation 1 is PM is equals to MR. But equation 2 is MN is equals to NR. So I can say that PM is equals to MN, which is equals to NR. So that is equation 3 from equation 1 and 2. Okay. Now, let us see what is PR. Now this entire PR is PM plus MN plus NR will give us PR, right? Okay. Therefore, PR is equals to PM plus, now instead of MN, I can write as PM because there is already PM over here. And in place of NR, also I can write as PM. Okay, so all the 3 are PM. So 1, 2, 3. So PR is 3 PM. Okay, so this PM I shift it over here. Oh, sorry, this PR I shift it over here, and 3 I shift on that side. That means PM upon PR is equals to 1 upon 3. So that is been proved. Okay, PM is equals to PR, that is what we have proved. Now for your homework, you have to solve entire problem set from question 2 onwards till question 9. Okay, so with this I have completed the chapter. Thank you.